welcome everyone. My name is Glenda Dawson, and I have Moongirl here as my co-host, and we are the Paranormal Dolls. We are now going to be streaming on the Glenda's Magical Creations channel on Roku TV, on Amazon Fire TV, on Apple TV, and many other streaming platforms. So we are so happy that you will be watching this show, especially since we have a phenomenal guest today, who is a psychic medium. She's referred to as the Good Witch and is best known for her recurring role on the Travel Channel and the Discovery Plus #1 show, Ghost Adventures, and a few others. And her list just goes on and on and on. And we're just going to introduce her, Patti Negri, and let her take on.
Hey,
Hello.
bio, very impressive bio. It kept going
Ah,
on and on and on.
and on and on. It's always like more than you would ever want to know or care about. Well, I've been around a long time. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on. Congratulations on your show and the growth and everything. That is awesome. And I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on your award that you just
Yes.
received.
Oh my God.
How amazing is that?
Yes, I have it sitting right here. I'm like, oh, I better set it up. That's what everybody does with their awards. Yeah, I can't believe it. I was at the Parapod Festival this weekend, which was a combination paranormal convention, like a Paracons like we do, and film festival and film and podcast award show. I was just thrilled to be nominated for 2. One was Best Spiritual Podcast, against 2 really great other people, and then Best TV Psychic Medium, which I truly thought I had no chance in hell with, because I was up against Chip Coffey, who's been around for decades, had his own show, and Tyler Henry, who's the up and coming, kid that everybody talks to. So I would, I did not win the podcast one. I'm like, okay, Colby deserves it. The girl who got it, Colby Rebel, is brilliant. She's had her podcast for like 10 plus years, so longer than me. So she deserves it. I go, well, I didn't get that. I'm not going to get anything because I'm not going to win against these guys. And then they call my name. I'm like, what? I was like speechless for the first time ever. Like, what?
It's hard to keep a Libra speechless.
It is really hard. That's what I kept saying. It's like, I've never been this close to speechless. Yeah. So,
oh my God, I just know we're all magical air signs. Glenda's a Gemini, you're a Libra, and I'm an Aquarius.
There you go.
Air signs.
Yes. So, again, congratulations. And how did it feel? Because I know that, to be speechless no matter what sign you are.
Yeah. it was interesting because some people have captured a few pictures of me like
I saw them.
It's like, well, that's not my most attractive, but it shows I really was surprised. It was just it's great. I mean, I put everything into my work. I put everything over, and because I love it, not for fame, not for fortune, not for anything, because I'm passionate about working with people. I don't care if it's on Ghost Adventures or Portals to Hell or working one-on-one with clients like we all do, or I'm at a Paracon or I'm filming. I love people, living and dead. I love people, and that's what the passion is about. I'm about letting people remember how powerful they are, living and dead. That so whether it's through the school or anything we do on anything else, so just to get some recognition for that, it was pretty cool.
A lot of it we've done, like, there were labors of love, because we've done investigations where it was just out of fun because we care about it and there was no money involved. We all just came together and we really enjoy talking to the ghost, talking to the dead.
Talking to the dead. Yeah, no, I have never done anything for money. Yes, I love money. We need money. We have to pay our bills with money. So I'm not one of those money is evil people. No, but I have never done anything. Oh, because this will pay me this because I want. I do it out of passion, and hopefully we pay our bills. That's so yeah, that's not why I do things, and never have. But since I've moved my whole life that it's completely this world, my production company I don't even have time for anymore. All the stuff I did for years with my Brain Brew Entertainment, which was still about empowering people, but in a very corporate setting. I would produce big shows for like the world's biggest banks and casinos, and which was great to empower the HR department. But now humans, heart, soul, spirits, it's everything.
Very good. Very good. Yes. In passion, I believe if you're passionate about whatever you do,
Yep.
it shows and it will pay off. Sooner or later, that energy just creates so much positivity that it was just,
Yeah.
you could just go out there and pick up your crops, so to speak.
Right. Pick your crops.
I wanted to ask you, like, as a lot of us, psychic mediums, we like notice, different things, and we kind of come into our abilities at a very young age. But that being said, there's a lot of people who later in life, they discover their abilities, and it's not very uncommon for that either. So can you maybe tell us when you first noticed that maybe I'm a little different than other kids, or at what age, or when you
Yeah.
came to full terms that
Yeah, it's always been a part of me. I remember as early as I can talk, I knew that those so-called imaginary friends little kids have were not all imaginary. They were spirits, and literally the little creatures in the closet and under the bed, all these cliche things. It's like, no, they were real, and they gave me real information. And I do think kids have the sight. It just gets taught out of us in our modern, Western, non-mystical, non-magical society. Everything is so focused on your left brain logic, they forget the magic here. So it gets taught out of us, but it didn't get taught out of me. My mom was always like, yeah, grandma did that too. Yeah, grandma did that too. And even on the witchy side of things, I would be in my little suburban Los Angeles or Long Beach backyard picking very specific, like rosemary and mint, and stuffing it in my mom's wallet and knowing this will give her more money. She didn't quite get it so much. It's like, what are you doing putting dirt in my purse? Like, no, this is not dirt. This is money. No, it's not money. It's a rosemary. It's like, no. And then years later, I study it. So it's just in the blood. I didn't think I was different. I thought it was normal. And then as you go, it's like, oh, not everybody does their first seance at age 7. What? I was obsessed with the dead, but it was never dark or morbid. It was just because they had a lot to say and it was fun to talk to them. So I literally did. Again, in my little suburban household at 7 or 8, somewhere in between that, I went into my hallway where there was no windows and stuffed towels under the doors, created dark in the midday, and lifted the veil for my first time, not even knowing what it was, but how to do it. And it filled with orbs and lights and shadows. And as I ran outside screaming, I was jumping up and down too, going, this is real, and we can control this. And spent my life studying it, being a seeker.
Now, speaking of seances, because you're known for your amazing seances at events and stuff like that, and the Good Witch, like, can you maybe share with us some of your wildest experiences when you've done a seance, either personal life or events?
Yeah. It's lots of what on the beautiful side of things. If anybody's seen me doing them on like Ghost Event or all these shows, my personal ones are not like that because I'm not being possessed by a serial killer. We're not at a prison or an insane asylum or the serial killer's house, and I don't get to put Jeffrey Dahmer or whoever inside of myself. The regular ones is, let's talk to grandma. Let's talk to your mom. Let's talk to your big brother who died when you were a kid. And they are so warm. I've literally this guy passed away young, leaving a young child and his young wife, and they sat there with his iPhone and did not know the code. The spirit gave me the iPhone code. Practical. Just recently, somebody passed away, and the family did not have the safe Spirit gave me the safe, how to open it. Practical. I mean, not just like butterflies. I mean, I love butterflies and everything else, but it's good. On the scarier side of things, that has certainly happened too. I do believe this is our realm of existence, that they really do have to play by our rules, and we have control on this realm. People don't know that, so they give away their power. When you see somebody all possessed, unless it's one of us who knows what we're doing and how to control it, they've allowed that to happen. Either just because they didn't know they had the power and they gave it up to some scary, or they reacted with fear and anger and all the stuff that a negative spirit wants, or unless they have an addiction problem or a severe mental imbalance, then yes, you can lose your control and your power. Other than that, they just didn't know better, and you could take it back. But the only time I've ever had some serious things, and I have, was when I let my guard down and I let somebody get disrespectful. Because no matter what, living or dead, whatever kind of spirit, we are ghost or elemental or whatever realm you live in, everybody wants to be respected. And this one kid, I had set up my wards and my protectors, and I was doing I was actually at a home in my neighborhood. It was a home. I live in the Hollywood Hills, the first movie enclave built in the 1920s, right under the Hollywood sign. It's beautiful, little houses, big houses, just super magical. But this house was built by Charlie Chaplin for one of his many girlfriends from Mary Astor, and it was a super party house. And when you have super party houses with a lot of beautiful debauchery, but lots of drugs and alcohol, you can start bringing in some dark stuff. So it was a party house for decades. And then in the 60s, the Rolling Stones manager bought it. And so the Rolling Stones stayed there, the Mamas and Papas, Graham Parsons, all these super creative, high energetic people. And then he sold it. And then the guy who invented the real life sex doll moved in. And it got a little funky for him, too scary. And then my neighbor, Marilyn Manson, moved in. And he recorded in the deep basement. And it actually got too scary for him at one point, too. He was my neighbor for 7 years. But so this house attracted creative, high vibration, high energy, light, dark, whatever people. And we were doing a seance. We were doing a documentary about the house, and I was conducting a seance. And the people around the table, it was a 4-camera shoot, so it was big, a documentary, and young people around the table. And when people are like past puberty, but not too far into their 20s, there's so much life force. That's when that stuff happens all the time, like poltergeist and this and that. So it was a high energy little group of table around it. This house itself was made for magic. There's literally a compass painted in the wood floor as you walk in. It has a 4-level round staircase, which spirits love. It looks like it was almost built by Masonics, like, sacred geometry. So the house was conduit itself. But this one kid, I did not keep good enough control. And this one kid kept getting smart alecky, just kind of disrespectful. And so at first, cool things were happening, like literally the French doors flew open, everybody's and looking. I'm like, and the producer side of me is like, wow, that's pretty cool. I would never ever, my reputation depends on it, fake anything, but it was just like he said something and the French doors flew open. I'm like, whoa, they are active. Then that happened again. And then he said something else. And again, I'm feeling the edge in the air with spirits. And then the speakers, that old school, how big can your speakers get, on the floor started coming on with this white noise. Like, it sounded just like a spirit box or something. We looked later, it wasn't even plugged in, but it came on white noise. That happened twice. And this energy is building and the energy is coming in, and I'm trying to keep control of it, but I didn't stop it because, again, this is what they want. We're filming, but and we're working with a Ouija board. I've used them safely since I was 7 or 8, but we were finding out something that really dark had happened in the late 1920s, early 30s in the dirt basement. It's always the dirt basement. And the kid said something really smart alecky, and not him. He was sitting there like this, not him, but the cameraman facing him burst into flames. Literally. Like a V off his back, like angel wings of fire. He was not standing in front of a fireplace or a candle. Everybody screaming. 2 cameras actually caught it. One camera started filming the ceiling or the floor. I guess you test the mettle of a cameraman by a small room with a lot of people bursting into flames. And the poor guy who was the cameraman is wondering, facing opposite way, obviously wonder why everyone is screaming and pointing at him. And me, I'm like, oh my God, cool witch medium Patti becomes medic Patti, of which I am. I'm an EMT. I'm cardiologist. I'm certified. I'm like, drop and roll. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, and I'm calling in all my wards and how I work, my protectors and wards and guardians. Shut it down. Shut it down. I don't care what we're filming. I've never ended up, but this is not okay. No, you do not burst into flames on my watch. Not okay. And his shirt burnt off him like poof. It was cotton. It burnt off it like it was a nylon or a polyester. It should not have went poof. And I'm watching the blistering on his back. I'm like, oh, we're done. We're done. But the cameraman, who was a super skeptic and not believer, he was so amazed at spontaneous combustion. He's like, no, I'm okay. I have a sweater. He took the burnt shirt off. He goes, I'm okay. I could do this. I'm like, no. But he was okay. And I looked at the kid, and he was no longer going to be a problem. He became the scared to death choir boy in the corner. Not another peep. I'm like, so I talked to the spirits. I'm like, you guys, we're not even going to get rid of you. We know this is your house. I knew it wasn't demonic. I think 99% of what people think is demonic is just cranky ass ghosts. It's just, no, you're just big in life, big in death. It was a big theatrical Hollywood ghost who wanted to make a thing. So we did continue, but crazy stuff. A glass flew like from 15 feet across, stuff I've never seen before or since. But the cool thing that made it happen is
the cool thing. Yes.
The cool thing. Yeah. No, the happy ending to this. And I'm still like, oh my God, spontaneous combustion on my watch. And there was an old movie called Spinal Tap. I'm married to a drummer. And the drummer always
Spinal Tap.
Yes. So Spinal Tap, they talk about the drummer's spontaneous combustion. So here I am at one of my seances. I'm married to a drummer. Yeah. But he called me 3 weeks later. He goes, Patti, he goes, look at my back. He showed me a picture of his back. And where that blistering had been literally looked like he had went and got a tattoo of a dragon.
Wow.
Sharp teeth, winged head, into the shape of a serpent. And that is the exact energy I called in to stop the seance. I work dragon energy. I have dragon, scary, isn't it? Dragons everywhere. It's crossroads magic. It's crossroads powerful. And I'm looking at his back, his little tattoo of a dragon, and I'm like, oh my God, you have a tramp stamp of a dragon. The best thing I have ever seen. And he thought so too. He was so inspired by this. He's a total believer now. He wrote a script. I haven't done it yet. I hope they do. But he wrote a script about this TV medium who did every reality show, basically about me, and then doing yet another reality show. And then a portal opens, and then it becomes a horror film, one of those, the kind I like that are both scary and funny. And he wrote it actually with Stephen Norrington, the guy who wrote League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and the Blade series. So this, and I'm like, oh, I hope somebody fabulous plays me. They haven't done it because he's so busy. But if they do, I actually did sit down with him for like 5 hours, and we were going over the script, and I went, oh, Laurent, you can't, because Laurent Malachi, a beautiful filmmaker, I go, Laurent, you can't say that on camera. He's like, but Patti, you said that. I go, well, I know I said that, but that does something energetically to the world. You don't want to be one of those haunted horror films, do you? It happens all the time. If they don't have an expert on who knows occult science, or you don't want to be where all the actors died at 27, and everybody got in a car accident. So let's change those words, that we're not going to open a portal to hell. They'll sound just as scary. They'll be just as magical, but take anything that's real to cause something out of it. So if they ever do it, it won't, it won't be cursed.
Fingers crossed.
Well, I also work with dragons, and I have
Glenda's Dragon's Den.
Yes, I've worked with dragons since I was a child myself.
Me too.
So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and even like fairies, people say, "Oh, fairies are really scary." I'm like, nothing ever happens to me with fairies.
Yeah, I love fairies. People who live in Ireland really are fearful of fairies. Right. They have a very much darker respect, a huge respect. They will build a road around a fairy fort when I was there. But yeah.
But
Faith and
it's
giving.
all how you, I believe, how you treat spirit,
Yeah.
how you respect them. If you go in there, with guns all ready to shoot, they're going to shoot back.
Yeah. But if you go in with respect, that's what I say about if you're going on a paranormal investigation or a seance or one-on-one, it's respect.
Exactly. So, your book that Sarah is going to put up.
Ah,
Old world
yes.
magic for modern world.
Yes.
We also have
Yeah,
Glenda.
it's a
Crystal.
yay. We have purple books. Yay.
Yeah.
Purple's
Yeah,
the word.
I wrote that a few years ago now because I just like things simple. It is great. It's literally life hacks, easy things to make your life good. You don't have to be a psychic or a medium or a witch in this world. Just why a little salt in your toilet changes everything. What to do this. Yes, it is great to meditate for an hour. I don't have an hour to get together. I have 30 seconds to pull it together. So here's a little 30-second elemental exercise. Oh, wait, think about it. That's my emotions. I'm going to run my hands under it. Oh, wait, that's my air element. I'm overthinking. I've got a chatty head. I'm going to breathe. Oh, wait, that's my earth element. I need to ground. And it's a whole from everything from, health and love and in cooking in the house. Super simple. I literally spent more time unwriting it than writing it to make it. It's like, oh, those are just my words. Who cares about my words? Make it simple. Like it takes a minute to read each chapter. And which is why I think it's a bestseller in like 5 countries because it's easy and anybody can do it.
And you have an upcoming book, you said, in the works?
Yeah, I do. I'm not talking about it yet, but I've signed a deal and it's going to be real. I actually have 2. One is lost somewhere with my editors. I don't know if I'm going to self-publish or do that, but I'm working with a beautiful publisher now that I work with a lot on my podcast, The Witching Hour. I have a lot of their authors on. Mm-hmm. So with Llewellyn. So yeah, that should be out.
Let me put that up so they could see it. So
thank you.
Whenever they would like to go and watch it, there it is.
Thank you. Yes, that is Witching Hour. The non-winner of the best spiritual podcast at the Parapod Festival, but I'm number 2 or 3. Happy to be nominated.
You have 2 podcasts, right? Or is it 3?
Well, no, no, 2. Well, 2. That is my real podcast. It drops everywhere, like you guys, Apple, this and that. Mostly audio, video. If you go to my YouTube or you go to Paraflix. But now we just started just for fun. We started the Witches Movie Coven. Yes. It's live on Wednesdays. It's just for fun, though we do go places with it. Witches, 5 witches talking about witches in movies. They've been putting witches in movies since the 1800s and movies were created. The good, the bad, the ugly, how evil are witches, how good. Why are it just green? Oh, that was the Witches of Oz created that because they decided, dark people, the bad people were green because of Frankenstein. We just get into it. And because it's live, that people can just, participate. We do wands up, wands down. Right. Heather Green, who wrote the Bible about witches in movies, did all the research. Jason Mankey, who's a really well-known witch, magician, occultist. Richard Leal Lillard, one of my dearest friends. Courtney Buckley, who's the girl that's ghost bait, who's afraid of everything, so she's perfect. And myself. So it's every Wednesday, 6:00 Pacific time. Just for a really fun hour of silly talking about movies. Sometimes we will talk social things and why this was like this. And, when was the satanic panic in the 70s? And what Disney princesses and Disney witches do. And it's fun.
Well, what about the Witching Hour?
The Witching Hour, that's my baby. Yeah. I don't even know how. I'm a few years into it now. And I have amazing guests. Like Sarah, like Moongirl. I have the best from all over the world, leaders in all sorts of different magical ways, and a lot of authors, like I said. And it's an interview show. And then I do a little magic lesson in each one, or whether it's a spell crafting or magic lesson. I have my Willow report, so everybody knows where my dog is. I have Where's Patty, so I can know where I am since I'm on the road.
I love the Willow report. By the way, I love Willow.
I have to tell you, I haven't even announced this yet because this was a big weekend. And it's like I did not want to take away from Willow. I found out the day of the Parapod Festival that My dog is on the cover of this month's K9 magazine.
Yay, congratulations.
I'm a proud stage mama. It's a picture of her and I. I'm actually not crazy about the picture because her eyes are down, looks a little sad, and I look a little chipmunk cheeky, which is fine. But inside, it's a whole article and story. So I got me a cover girl, K9 magazine. You can go there. I will be posting it. I just didn't want to over bombard everybody. But
Willow's a Dawson, right?
Yeah, she's a Dawson. She's my short little baby. My little. I have
a chow weenie.
I love chow weenies. I used to. The reason I fell into doxies 15, 16 years ago is because with my production company, which was Interactive Production Company, I ran the wiener dog races for Wiener Schnitzel, which is a West Coast, 7 Western states hot dog chain, and they had this promotional thing of wiener dog races because they're short. They don't really run. But anyway, so I fell in love with them and I had one, and my last girl, Dora, lived 14 and a half years racing every year. She was the slowest, fattest, furriest. She always got like miscongeniality, but even age 13, she made it on her first magazine, a magazine cover with Mike Tyson. They did this TV show together where she drug him around. They were like the comedy duo of the world. My little short fat doxie. So yeah, so Willow's now following in her footsteps. Dora did both wiener dog racing movies. Now she was again not an athlete. She was a nice glamour wide girl, built
she
for.
Was an artist.
Yeah, but Willow, my new girl, is fast. She is sleek and fast. And I'm like, going to have a real winner wiener. She raced at Los Alamitos for the first time.
3 times.
I know. Willow's a winner. You can't. But anyway, she's so fast. But at halfway, when she did it at the big races with like 100,000 people, she did it on all the TV commercial promos. She runs so fast. She's in the lead. And she turns around halfway and goes back.
Oh.
No, the other way. Well, then now she's wrong way, Willow. We're hoping by this year's races, maybe she can go straight because she could be a contender. But somehow she just turns around at halfway. What's a mother to do? But
you try with children, but they never
listen. They never listen. Keep going this way. I've got this hysterical things, but just like Dora used to do by being the slowest, like all the other dogs would race when we did come, and they would show the ones that did run fast, and then the camera would pan back to almost halfway, and you'd see Dora like in slow-mo, and then she'd get the big crowd cheer. So the same thing kind of happened with Willow, except for that she's in the lead, and then she just goes backwards. So they're just doing it for camera time, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. She knows how to grab the attention there.
Yep. To heck with winning. Watch the cameras come here. I don't know where they get it.
Now, you are president and co-owner of a little thing called Paraflix, which I love and is known as the Netflix of the paranormal.
There you go. Yes.
It's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about it and where we can stream it?
Go to paraflix.com as you have up there. It is a streaming service. I am not president. I am vice president. Natalie Jones is our heart and mind. She really runs it for us. She is
another one of our amazing guests.
Another one of our amazing guests. Another fellow ghost sister with us. The Ghost Hunter Girls with us. But yes, I am founder
as well.
Yes. And she's on the Paraflix, and everybody should be on Paraflix. But yeah, it's a streaming service because we figured when we started it, for those of us in the paranormal world, which we obviously you are the dolls, there just wasn't enough content. When you've already seen every show on Travel Channel 3 times and Discovery Plus, and there's no more. So we started Paraflix, and it's 90% new content. We gave people options and we have really good stuff out there, and it's stuff you haven't seen. So it's cheap. It's $3.99 a month or $29 a year. Way cheaper than Starbucks once a week. Mm-hmm. And we have codes. If you go Patti 10, you can get 10% off. And you will see stuff you haven't seen before. Great shows, really.
A lot of amazing paranormal investigators aren't very talented, and movies and shows and
podcasts.
Podcasts.
So
Very
and movies,
good.
and we have some really great horror stuff. So paraflix.com. I started that last year, and at the same time, because I wouldn't know what to do if I had downtime, I started the school, University Magicus.
Okay, so
I'm a proud instructor
that one?
there. Saying.
Yep, magicu.com. That's our new shorten. It's universitymagicus.com or easiermagicu.org. We just decided, Sebastian and I, my best friend and king of the vampires, I was teaching with Nick, who's also a partner in Paraflix. This is a cute little Italian young, lives all over the world, but he's really good at business from doing one little Instagram live. We started the school when it was Nick's Haunted Diary, started Paraflix. And so now we have, I'm just really big on people discovering their truth, not saying there is a one truth. Who's my truth, how to get to my house, to your house? There's going to be a million ways. So now we have over 20 instructors, all of different paths and belief systems, for everything from Catholic priests to werewolves, vampires, witches, New Age, Reiki, astrology, cryptid people, alien people, our beautiful werewolf Denny from the University of Washington. It's all beautiful, positive magic, but we don't tell you it's the truth. It's a truth. And then you could pick and choose and create how you want to navigate your life. So I'm really proud of that. And it's really affordable. I didn't want anything expensive because people do get in trouble. We like Stefan Brigatti teaches paranormal investigation and safety. I teach mediumship development, psychic development, spell casting. So if people are going to get out there and do it, they should, know what they're doing.
At least have the basics not to get themselves into trouble.
Exactly.
Because then I get called in.
Exactly. Then you
get called in and I'm like, oh. Okay.
Here you did it again, right?
Here you did it again. All right. Yeah.
And they're also very talented instructors there. Different
like
times.
Moongirl.
Everyone, you can pick and choose the classes. I love doing it there. I like to teach the divination work, but there's so many things. I mean, it's really a plethora of magic. In other words,
magic in every form. Again, without judgments, without whatever, and you guys see what works for you. And we love having you there, Moongirl.
Oh, I love being there.
And that is the best
Perfect.
way, right?
University Magicus, yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Real life Hogwarts, and that's what we call it.
Yeah, there you go.
You are also part of an all-girl paranormal group, the Ghost Hunter Girls. You and I, and Natalie, Haley, Christy, Alicia, so a bunch of talented girls, and we did a big event sometime last year at Old Parky Hotel. We had a lot of crazy activity, and now we're going to have an upcoming one for Holoflex in October, and at the Haunted Hill House. So
yes, I can't wait. I haven't been there. Have you been there?
There.
No, I can't wait. Yeah, then Hallowflix is Paraflix Halloween. Yes. Our October Hallowflix. We have a big campaign.
And tickets are going to go on sale. Where can people get their tickets? Or
I have no idea.
You don't know yet?
No. I should know these things, but I rarely know where I am on a day-to-day basis. No, but we will advertise
soon.
We'll
be promoting it. We'll be promoting it.
We will be promoting it. Yes. So find us all. I'm sure they follow you. You will promote. I will promote it. Ghost Hunter Girls, Natalie. We'll have to find that out, huh?
We've been making like TikToks and pictures, but we just like, where do we get the tickets? We forgot that little piece.
I know, we forgot. Oops.
How is it different to work with a group of women versus you doing something on your own? I'm sure they're both amazing and you love doing both, but what's the difference for you?
Well, yeah, and it's not working. I mean, I don't do paranormal investigations on my own. I do a lot of things on my own, seances, galleries, one-on-one, like all that we all do and teach. But paranormal investigations, I'm usually in the boys' club. I'm usually with the Ghost Adventure guys, or I'm with my YouTubers. The last few years, I work with the #1 paranormal group. They're overnight. It was the TFIL, now gone overnight. Elton, Castee, Corey Scherrer. We go all over the world too, to amazing. And I love working with, I love Zach and Aaron and Billy and Jay. I love Elton and Corey and all their guys. But it is completely different working with girls. We are different. We come from this heart place. And not that we don't have equipment or have equipment, but it isn't about that. #1, we are all intuitive, and #1, women are different than men. Not good, not bad, but I just love it. And we need more women in the paranormal. We're trying. If you look at, I mean, this still is a boys' club, and we're making something different. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. And we love the boys. It's nothing about that. But we bring a whole other thing, this different kind of a feminine thing to, I think, something that's appreciated and needed in the paranormal world.
I really do feel like it's going to be like a groundbreaking thing. It's not like it hasn't been done before. There's other women groups, but I think just like the amazing people we have in there, I think it's just going to be really groundbreaking, and I'm super excited to what we have in store. And our events will be also featured on Paraflix as well.
Yes.
So you can catch that episode there when it comes out as well.
Yes. So yeah, that is fun. I just love it, again, because it's fun being the only girl in the boys' club, but being surrounded by women, the camaraderie, everything is different. Whether we're in, all 6 of us in the bathroom getting ready before we go, or they're on set or up in the investigation. Yeah.
Plus, it is a different type of energy.
Completely, yeah.
Right. Women go in a little softer.
Yeah,
I believe.
I believe so too. And
there's nothing wrong with it. Just no,
just different. And again, if you go back to that old school, men are Mars, women are Venus, where men are hunters, they have that single focus, and women are the gatherer. We see it all. We are taking in everything and creating the whole, where they might be going
right.
So it's different.
Have you ever brought something back home with you, maybe like unbeknownst to you, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, you weren't here before, hello? Or
I'm really good about not bringing it back, but I've certainly had issues. The 2 issues like that, because my house is pretty warded and protected, because it's my house, as I'm sure you guys are. It's like, this is your house. Mm-hmm. But 2 things that have happened. One, I had a haunted object that it was okay, and I kept control of. And I had it was like this weird New Orleans kind of voodoo looking thing, but it was okay. And I had it for 2 years, and all of a sudden I was noticing I'm not spending time in my office. I take my laptop upstairs. I'm doing everything else. There's something wrong in here. This is not my warm, fuzzy, magical office. And I look, and there's that thing. I go, oh, it's you. You've changed. It's you. And I looked at it. So I'm like, I don't want you in my house. So I'm like, well, I'll call Zach. So I called Zach Bagans, and I said, Zach, I have this thing. It's too dark for me. I can't have it in my home. Do you want it? Give it to you. And he goes, well, what is it? And I showed him a picture. He goes, ooh, that's a nail fetish. Hate God. Yeah, I want it. I go, okay. Well, I'm coming to Vegas this week. So we did a handoff, and it's in a beautiful case in that hallway. It started acting up that night. It was so happy to get out of a place where, and he's warded enough. He's protected enough. That's what they're there for. So that was my one thing here that caught me by surprise. And the other thing that happened was once, again, my house is warded for whether it's seances. Before I had the witching hour, I had another short-lived one called Magic Hour, which my podcast was kind of combining my seances and mediumship with true crime, which was a great idea. And I would do a seance, and we were doing one on the Black Dahlia murder, which I've been to that house twice. I did a Ghost Adventures episode there. I did another TV show. That house is dark. That doctor is dark. It's evil. It's legit. So anyway, we were all set up to do about that. I had coming over a dear friend, and like the most famous crime reporter. Her name's Linda Deutsch from Associated Press. She got famous way back on like Charles Manson, and her personal friends she was like Michael Jackson and O.J. Simpson and all these big high profile crimes. She was that court person in there. So she knew of all the, I mean, that was before her day too, but she was coming over, and I was with my then producer, and we would always pull out these my Ouija board, which we would use as part of it. Again, used safely since I was 7 or 8, but I had not set up my protectors and my guards and my wards, and because nobody was there yet, it was me and her, and like, oh, let's talk to her friend. We would always talk, and it was almost like we are just like texting back and forth. But I hadn't said it. All of a sudden, we like, oh, this is her friend Skippy or whatever. Like, no, I don't think it is. And I got pushed so hard into the back. I was standing behind my dining room chair. We weren't even sitting. We were just so unprepared. I heard this crack, 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 right in my ribs. And I'm melting down to the floor. And I'm like, I think I broke my ribs. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not. And I always say I'm okay. I could have an arm cut off and go, oh, it's a flesh wound, I'm fine. And I'm like, I had to go to urgent care. He had hit me so hard. And the way he did it, because he's a doctor, knew how to do it. That's why he cut these women up like this. Yeah. It didn't break my ribs, but it had literally ripped all the cartilage off my floating ribs and ribs. Oh, month of pain for that. My bad. I did not set it up. That happened last week in Indiana. I had a ghost push me down 2 stairs. Thank God, 2 stairs, because on that I totally twisted my knee because I was get this pissy little girl. It's like, I'm gonna go do this scary stuff. How come I did it? And like, oh, okay, boom. Ah! So yeah, anything that has gone bad, it's because I let my guard down.
Mm-hmm. It's a good lesson.
It's a good lesson.
Good lesson for anybody.
You did talk about serial killers earlier, and right now too a little bit. Have you ever tried to contact, and have you ever gotten any communication from any serial killers?
I have let that, which I do believe he's a serial killer. He had a lot of women besides the Black Dahlia, Elizabeth Short. Yeah. I have I've channeled him twice. You have to be really careful letting something dark in like that. But again, we're all trained, so we know how to do that. And yeah, it is so ugly and so icky. And also at the Cecil Hotel, which is the darkest place I've ever been, I did that with the 2-hour Discovery launch with Zach and the guys for Ghost Adventures. And then also I did a 4-part with my YouTubers. We went back, rented the whole hotel too with Corey. And that's where I like, oh my God, if you don't even think you're an empath or psychic or medium, you just want to kill yourself within half a block at that place. It's so dark, hopeless, bad. And that place that's been that for almost 100 years. And I walk in, a rat didn't want to let me in. And Zach's like, okay, Patti, because they'd already been there filming and they were all adjusted. They had all their cameras. He goes, okay, there's 700 rooms. They're all open. There's 14 floors. You tell us where to go. And I'm like, so I didn't know I was going to the Cecil. I don't get to know where I'm going. I don't want to know where I'm going. No, because if I know, then
he gives you an address. He's like, yeah, here it is. Surprise.
You know? So I let him write. I'm like, get in the elevator. I'm like, oh my God, that's that Alyssa Lamb elevator, like that Korean game. I'm like, oh my God. And I let him write to a thing where I go, I got to get out of here. And I walk up to a window. I'm in a trance state already. And I'm opening the window and he's yelling at me. And in my trance state, it's like, why is Zach yelling at me? He never yells at me. That's so weird. I had led them right to a room. Somebody had jumped out the exact window. I'm saying, I got to get out of here. And I'm opening the window. So he's like, sit down. And then I see a little SLS guy dancing on my head. And then did the same thing. I'd led him right to a room where a woman had, been raped and murdered. And I'm like holding myself going, don't go there. And Zach's going, where are you being attacked? And the part of me that I keep, that's Patti, that's still there, is realizing that I'm on national TV going, how do you say that body part on TV? I'm like, I don't know what I said, lady parts or female, and I'd led them right to that. So yeah, it goes dark. And when I was doing it with my Elton and Corey guys, we were in the hallway and I was channeling. And when I channel, I rock, which is my thing. I go into it. And I thought I was talking because I know it's like dream state. I'm not really aware. And I thought I was talking. All they heard was gibberish. Dowsing rods were flying out of my hands. All they heard was gibberish. But Corey, who I've been working with, and he's really intuitive, he literally goes, "We should play that backwards." They played my gibberish backwards, and I was talking English backwards. I'm like, that is weird. I'm so opposite of dyslexic. I can't even hardly spell my name backwards without writing it down first. If I was pulled over by police and said, if were you drinking, do your alphabet backwards, I'd be like, take me in. I can't. But to speak backwards. So yeah, it's a trip when you go there with it.
That needs to be a place the ghost hunter girls go investigate. That'd be so wild. That'd be
yes, but sadly, the Cecil Hotel and what I want to take the ghost hunter girls, I want to clear it. Sadly, it is on Skid Row, and there's hundreds of homeless people. There's 700 empty rooms. Now they are moving homeless people in, but it needs to be cleared. If I want to kill myself being within a half a block, these people who do have mental imbalances and drug and alcohol issues, ambulances are pulling up every day. ODs and this and that. I know the city will not let me do it. They won't even let anybody in anymore to do it, though I have bribed my way in. But I want to get every healer, I don't care, rabbi, priest, shaman, witch, Native American, everybody who's of the light, hold hands around the whole place and do a big kumbaya moment for these people moving in. Concept is brilliant. Empty rooms in Skid Row where people don't have a home, but that place is killing people.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. And unfortunately, probably the government officials don't believe in any of that stuff. So to them, it's just an empty place. Let's get everybody in there.
People, good idea. Yes, good idea. It is. And even then, last time, I don't know what it is right now, but last time, several months ago, I checked, only 30 some people had moved in out of the 700 rooms. So some people still were choosing a cardboard box over living in that place. And I go, why can't you guys feel this? But no, they can't.
They may feel it, just not admit it.
Yeah.
That too. So
yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Yeah.
They don't want to feel vulnerable or looked at like they need an insane asylum or something like that.
Yeah.
So some of the other stuff that you have coming up.
Oh, I have, I'm home for 2 weeks. For the first time this year alone, I've been to Australia twice, Mexico, the Caribbean, Texas, Indiana. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be at Spirits in the Spring, which is a fundraiser. Natalie will be there in Wisconsin at Broadhead. I'm so excited because it's for a good cause and it's a paranormal convention. And then that same week, I'm going to Bisbee, Arizona. I'm going to be at the Copper Queen for this really intimate, max out at 20 something people, because that's all the hotel doing investigations and seances. So anybody wants a real intimate experience with me, go to Copper Queen Hotel. There is a Facebook page now. I'm really excited. And that's the weekend of April 26th, 27th, 28th. I'm going back to Texas. I'm going back to Miracles of Joy soon in Dallas. I've got Michigan. I've got like 20 things this year. So go to my website, pattinegri.com, and then you can get my list, and then you can find my legitimate, as just like with you, Sarah Moongirl. There's fake me's everywhere. It's like, I'm not going to contact you. My name is not spelled wrong. So I'm verified on everything, whether you go to Instagram or Twitter or Facebook.
And
here's where
they could reach you. So this way. And
before we leave you, what are your 3 top, if you could, I know I put you in the spot, but 3 places that you haven't gone, that maybe your bucket list that you'd love to investigate?
Okay, I want to go, and I don't know why, to Gettysburg. I'm not a war person. I'm
Uh-huh.
not a history person, but I am so, and I'm not an outdoors person per se. I am so drawn. Whether I was there, I don't know. I really want to investigate Gettysburg, and hopefully that will be not too far on my bucket list.
It's
I want
great.
to.
I've
Is it?
been
Have you
there.
been?
I loved it. I loved it. And I'm not super like, I don't really know all this history stuff. I like it, but it was really cool. It was really, really cool. I think you would enjoy it a
Yeah,
lot.
I think I will too. So that's hopefully not too long away on my bucket list. I really want to go to Daniel Classes, who's my friend Hillsdale House. I really want to say that. I haven't been there. And then I want to go back to Europe where things are so old. Because
Yeah.
America's not very old. East Coast, they have a little bit older stuff. You have buildings from the 16, 17, 1800s. But out west, we're new. The oldest things we have are the mining towns. So we go to Virginia City, or we go to Nevada City, or we go to Vulture City, or we can even go to Butte, but they're not that old. Going back east is older, and then going to Europe, then you're in a castle from the year 1200 and 1300, and it's a whole different experience with spirits. And so that's my other thing.
Fun, fun, fun.
Yeah.
And you have that in the bucket list. Any place in particular, though? I know you say Gettysburg and all that other, but
And the Hillsdale House.
I feel like there's a place that you secretly have that you're looking at, you're wishing.
Well, I guess again, because everybody's been there except me, the Conjuring House, of course.
I haven't been
Right.
there.
I've been there.
You've been there?
I was there with the world's largest ghost
Ah,
in 2021. That was ground zero, and I was there. So
how was it?
it was good. I walked in, and for me, everybody behaved. So, and John Saffis was able to speak to his aunt and uncle that day. So
Oh,
they were there.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That would be awesome. That's a
I
big,
mean, I still felt all the energies and everything, and I was like, I'm not here for anything. I'm just here to keep everybody, still and quiet, and you guys do what you got to do. Nobody's here to take anybody's place, and I was just
that's
like,
awesome. And I love Johnny Zaffis, one of my favorite
yeah,
people in this.
he is,
So sweet.
he is.
So I think that's it. Again, and again, getting back to really, I want to get, yes, Europe, and then I want to get take me to Turkey, take me to Greece, take me really old,
Yes. That is fascinating, and I feel that Gettysburg is because you were part of it.
I think so too. I think so. Thank you for that, my intuitive one. Yeah.
Yes,
Because there's no other reason I really want to go there. Because
when you were saying it, there was this glow, and I'm like, okay, all right,
okay,
there you go.
interesting. So we'll see. I guess I better start planning that somehow.
Yeah.
Anybody out there watching this, listening to this, bring me to
Look,
Gettysburg.
Patty, she wants to go to Gettysburg. She wants an event there.
Yeah. Take us all. Take us all.
I am sure they will. Anything else that you would like to tell us, sir?
No, I think not. Just life is amazing. We humans are the most amazing creatures. We're the best computer ever made. We're the best everything done. So and times are scary. We know that. So just live each day to the fullest. Find joy everywhere. It's our perception. So that's my thing about, create the life you want. Nobody has the power but us. So get out there and do it. It works. That's all I know is it works.
Yes, it does. Thank you for those wise words, Patti.
Thank you. And thank you for having me on.
Oh, our pleasure. Anytime you want to come back, please. We'll be more than happy. So, Moongirl, any last words?
I love you both. Thank you, both of you, so much. It was a lot of fun, and I'm excited for our adventures together. separately, together, whatever. But I'm super excited and love you both very much. Thank you, guys.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank
Me too. And I want to meet you and work with you too, Glenda. So yeah,
Yes,
figure it all
yes.
out.
Well, we've met, but it was in Vegas and then in Pennsylvania, in New
We've met.
Jersey, actually, one time.
I've never been to New Jersey, so we could not have met there.
Then it was the next day, New York, because I travel New York, New Jersey,
Michigan, Michigan,
Michigan.
Michigan. Okay,
Yes.
okay, so that's good because I'm like I've not been to New Jersey and
There
I
you
haven't done
go.
a paranormal thing in New
I
York. Okay, well
I,
then good to see you
yes,
again. I'm
yes, I get
obviously
so
not.
confused.
I do
I don't
too.
know.
I wake up. I don't know what really where I am, what day it is. I just figure every day's an adventure that way.
There
You
you
don't get
go.
bored, right? Have we met before? I really didn't recognize an ex-husband once. It's like his voice is so familiar. Oh wait, was that my first husband? And that's a true story, sadly. She's got a beard.
Yeah, I heard her say this before.
The voice
I
was so
want to get to
familiar.
that level. Oh, I don't remember my first.
Yeah,
well, I did have different color hair then.
Okay. Okay. There you go. Maybe that's it. I mean,
Very
your
good.
spirit is amazing, but
Thank you. Thank you.
eh,
All
and
right.
your hair is perfect.
A lot of work.
Ah.
Thank you, everyone. We love you. We send many blessings and see you next time.
Bye. Thank